All right. Happy Friday, everyone. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Just wait for some more folks to arrive, and then we'll get going. Thanks for joining. Lots to discuss. Um, but we'll get started in about 2 minutes. All right. We're going to wait about 1 more minute, and then we're going to get started. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining today. Got a lot to discuss. I know it's been about a week since we've last spoken, and a lot has happened. So I think now is a great time to get everybody up to speed on what has transpired and more importantly what's to come. So let's get into it. As many of you are already aware, we've undergone a rebrand where we have redone the logo and we have continued to get all of our assets switched over to the new branding, which we believe is much more meme friendly and just overall a huge upgrade. So in the last week or so, we have relaunched KittenWifHat.xyz, our website. And this is really important because as our ecosystem has grown immensely, there's a lot to keep track of. So, as part of that, we've been able to make KittenWifHat.xyz a hub for all of what we have created as a community. And I think it turned out really great. So if you scroll through, you can see that there's links to all the places that you can buy Kitten with Hat. There's an updated description. Most importantly, there's a big breakdown of our ecosystem. Of course, there's a preview of catnip. There's a link to Kitten Swap, our DApp, and then our two proprietary bots that we recently launched, both KittenBot and Flora Defender Bot. And I'll get into both of those with more detail in a moment. We go into the kittonomics, the tokenomics, and we're also able to transfer over the details on the token burns. And we do have a token burn coming up next week, which I'm very excited about as we continue to deflate the overall supply of the token. And then last but not least, we have a preview of the NFTs. We've been talking about these for a while, and I've got some really exciting updates and more of a definitive roadmap on what comes next with that. So we're very pleased with the way the website has been redeveloped, and I think we're about ready to get to the next phase. This past week, we've been able to finally get CoinMarketCap to update our logo. So now CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap have that. And just the final pieces are Dex Tools logo and Dex Screener. Dex Screener, as I've talked about before, it's a bit of a convoluted process because this is by no means a community takeover. But that's the only way that you can really update that, unless you can get a hold of Deck Screener and convince them to allow you to update the branding. So we're still working through those details, but I'm very confident that we're going to get that updated with them. As it relates to Dex tools, it's just you pay them and you got to wait for that logo to be updated. So that's what we are doing at the moment. The second thing is Kitten Swap. So, of course, by rebranding the KittenWifHat website, Kitten Swap no longer matches up to our new branding. So we've been working with the developer to get that updated, and I'm excited to say that the front end is completely redesigned for Kitten Swap. What we're now waiting on is the developers to make sure that the back end is connected to all of the different buttons and options, et cetera. So after this, I'm going to share some screenshots to show you kind of what it looks like in Figma. But I think in just a matter of days, Kitten Swap will also get a facelift, and it will look very, very similar to KittenWifHat.xyz, which is super important, especially for new folks joining our community. Okay, as part of Kitten Swap, of course, there are many components there, right? You have the ability to stake your KittenWifHat tokens. You have the ability to farm pairs of KittenWifHat and Solana. You have the ability to stake stables, USDT, USDC, and of course, staking Solana. In addition to that, you can see that there will be the ability to stake your NFTs. So, a lot of work behind the scenes has been done on the NFT part, and I'm excited to share. And I'll share some links with you, or share a link with you today. Um, we've kind of figured out the plan of action as it relates to the NFTs. So, little inside baseball, but to mint an NFT on Solana based on current prices, it costs about $3. Now, to do 5,000 NFTs, that'd be about 15,000 bucks. Um, we felt that it didn't make a lot of sense to mint them ourselves because most folks are used to going on OpenSea and Magic Eden and other places and paying to mint the NFTs themselves. It's just kind of part of the gas fees, right? However, what we've decided to do is go ahead and mint 500 NFTs so that we can do a pre-sale on Magic Eden in the days ahead. So this is going to be an exclusive opportunity for the people to get their hands on the first 500 NFTs for Kitten with Hat. And that means that if you're one of the select few that gets your hands on these first 500, you're also going to have your first opportunity to stake the NFTs and earn catnip rewards. And we've talked about staking your NFTs are going to get the best emissions. And it's also going to give you an opportunity to get them before the catnip stealth launch happens. So the timeline in which this is going to play out is as follows. There's going to be a pre-sale for 500 Kitten with Hat NFTs. We're finalizing the price, but it's going to be somewhere in between 1 Solana and 1.2 Solana for that. Okay. And that's going to be for the first 500 NFTs. Then we're going to stealth launch Catnip. We're not going to give you an exact time, but we're basically going to put the details on there and tell you that liquidity has been added. We're going to put Gotbit to work on the market making, buying, etc. And we're going to essentially have this second token activated. Shortly after that, the remaining 4,500 NFTs are going to go on sale on kittenswap.xyz. You can mint them directly from the site. So let me just kind of recap that. 500 NFTs will first go on sale via Magic Eden. Um, and then we're going to have, um, we're going to do 500 NFTs on Magic Eden. Then we're going to add liquidity on Catnip. It's going to be stealth launched. And then approximately 48-ish hours later, the remaining 4,500 NFTs are going to go on sale on kittenswap.com. So for those of you who are able to get your hands on those 500 NFTs, you're going to have a head start. And we're going to share that process of how you're going to be able to do that very, very soon. You're going to know ahead of time, but there's going to be, a process in terms of uh, based on how much kitten width you own, kind of a random selection process is part of that. And we'll get into a lot more specific details on that in the days ahead. So we are dangerously close to launching this this next part of the ecosystem, that being the 5,000 NFTs and catnip. So after this AMA, in the announcements channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple things. I'm going to share some screenshots of what Kitten Swap is looking like on the front end, just the updated designs. You'll see it's going to be very similar to our website. And I'm also going to share a specific transaction hash so you can see that that one of these 500 NFTs have in fact been minted, and just so you can kind of see the progress. So pretty cool. But we're getting very, very close to all of this. All right, next up, KittenBot. So as many of you are aware, we have partnered with the Gary Network to create KittenBot, and we're super excited about it. We have put very, very little marketing into this, and the volume has been pretty tremendous, given the fact that this has been all organic, just based on the community using it and you guys using your referral links. It's pretty fantastic, and we're very close to being to the point where we're going to start unveiling marketing in a very big and impactful way. The timeline is as follows. Next Monday is when we've been told by the team that the social component that we've been waiting will be completed. And what I mean by that is there's going to be an option to auto-generate a QR code card that's going to have your referral QR code on this. And you can share this on Twitter. There's also going to be a button that allows you to pre-write a tweet, or it's going to pre-write a tweet for you, I should say, with your referral link, talking about how you're using KittenBot. It's 35% lower fees than BonkBot. Here's my referral fee, referral link, and it's going to tag KittenBot. It's also going to use some hashtags. So the whole idea is that this is going to enable us to significantly ramp up the viral component of this spot. In addition to that, that's when the marketing will be rolling out. And that will be everything from an article on Solana Daily, which you may have seen. I think they have over 90,000 Twitter followers and a very active website, various Telegram channels. We're going to launch a trading contest, just like we did with Gary Network. We're going to launch a Zeely contest. We'll have Reddit posts. We're working on YouTube reviews for that, Twitter influencers, a Medium article, just going to be very multifaceted as it relates to the rollout, the full rollout of KittenBot. We've been now using this for a couple weeks, and the just the overall experience has been very, very solid. There's been a couple minor tweaks and bug fixes that needed to be done, but really kudos to the development team on, in my opinion, creating something really, really special for us, and that's going to be highly, highly scalable. The whole idea is to be able to have millions of people using this on a daily basis with absolutely no issue. And I feel confident that we're going to be able to do that, all the while introducing people to the Kitten with Hat ecosystem and community. This is just another way that we're going to be able to do this. Furthermore, we're in the final stages of putting together a one sheet for anybody that is interested in helping us line up other Solana communities that want to use KittenBot, and they'll be incentivized to do so. Both you, from a a monetary perspective, as well as the community. If you recall, with Gary Network, we did a trading contest with them for 10 days, where a large percentage of the fees that were generated went to buying and burning Kitten with Hat. That's what we're going to do here, but it'll be to buy and burn their native token, and also help integrate the two communities into each other. So the best part about this is that by having these partnerships with other communities, it's going to do a few things. One, it's going to increase the volume, the trading volume of KittenBot, which is super important to our ecosystem because, of course, a portion of the profits go to buying and burning Kitten with Hat tokens. Two, it's going to expose the Kitten with Hat community to any other community that's in Solana. So it's going to allow us to find new community members, new holders of our token, and vice versa. Um, and they're of course going to be incentivized by being able to use these fees to buy and burn their token. And three, you actually have the ability to make money yourself by helping to create these partnerships. So we think this is a win-win-win across the board, and we're really excited to be able to roll that out. So that's happening next week as well. The Floor Defender bot, as we've talked about in the past, this is a specifically project-based, meaning it can be sold to individual projects for the price tag of 5 Solana for a lifetime license. And we're negotiating with a number of strategic partners on that to be somewhere where they recommend this bot for their communities. I can't go too much into details yet because we're still working through it, but this is something that is very exciting, and I think I'll have some more substantive updates in the very near future. So there's a lot going on, and I wanted to provide a very comprehensive update and give you all an opportunity to ask questions. We think that regardless of how the market has been reacting, we know what's coming up. I think many of you have seen the news yesterday that a major hedge fund has already applied for a Solana ETF. There's speculation that this could even be approved in 2024, if not 2025. We also know that the Ethereum ETF will likely start trading next week. And we've been talking about this for a while. It's one thing for it to be approved, but if you recall, when Bitcoin had their ETF approved, there was a little bit of a pump, and then it was a boring time where the market was just kind of flat and stagnant. And that's what we're experiencing right now. And then what eventually happened is all of these hedge funds, when trading actually started and they were allowed to start gobbling up billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, Bitcoin, of course, hit an all time high. The entire market pumped, and it was pretty amazing. So, with speculation that the Ethereum ETF could be starting as soon as July 4th, which is literally a week away, we're very excited and very bullish for what's to come. So we believe that this boring period will soon end and not be so boring. So it's been exciting to see kind of a glimpse of what's to come, especially with this bullish news on Solana. But we truly don't think things are going to get really interesting until the Ethereum ETF trading happens. And again, that should start in about a week. So lots to look forward to. But as you can tell, we're continuing to build constantly. In fact, In addition to all of this, the KittenBot website itself should be completed in the next 3 or 4 days. We're working with our developer right now to get that done. And of course, that's going to be a great hub for people discovering the bot and ultimately discovering the Kitten with Hat community. So there's a lot of different things happening and dots that are connecting for the entire ecosystem. And when things get crazy again, we will certainly be ready. I hope you can see the progress that we've been making as a community and how much we've been able to accomplish in this short time period. And I think when the time comes in the days ahead for the market to kind of jolt back into the next phase of this bull run, we'll be prepared. So um, with that, I would love to open this up to questions, comments. Uh, as you know by now, there is no there is no dumb question. There is no out of bounds question. My part of my job is to be here and answer your questions and talk about next steps. A lot of you have come up with really tremendous ideas, and many of which have been implemented. And we certainly wouldn't have come this far without this community being so amazing. There are so many people on a daily basis that keep this machine running, whether it be from a marketing perspective, voice chats, answering questions, coming up with different ideas. This is truly a group effort, and we're incredibly grateful to all of you for participating in this. Because I think if you're on here, you truly know what we've got and how special it is, and you certainly know what's coming next. So again, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I would love to answer them. Uh, if you are shy, you can put in the chat, no problem. But again, just know that there's no dumb questions, there's no out of bounds questions. I'm here to assist and answer. Um, and as I mentioned, as we once we get off this AMA, we'll put together a recap, and then I will also post some exciting updates as it relates to some screenshots of what KittenSwap is looking like. I'll I'll share a transaction hash of one of the minted NFTs, so you can see that these are in fact done. And yeah, we're getting dangerously close, and it's really exciting. So, any questions that I can answer before we jump? Again, I'm here to listen, answer questions, and ultimately uh, we work as a team here. No questions. Well, listen, just know that my DMs are always open. I'm not able to get to everybody right away, just because I go through hundreds of them a day. But please don't hesitate to reach out. You can always post questions in the chat. Make sure you join Kevin on the voice chat. Him and the team do amazing, amazing work on a daily basis, being able to talk about the project. And I've been in many communities before, and I've seen the voice chat open like the first week or two, and then it goes radio silent. We are several months into this project, and we have that voice chat open almost on a daily basis. That is very, very rare. So please take that opportunity to, if you're new to the community, learn, ask questions, and and again, thank you for your time and support. Oh, I do see a question. Crypto God, you are up. If you want to unmute, fire away.
Hey, Beanie. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
I was going through the comments. There's some questions in there.
Yeah.
They said he didn't know if he missed it, but is there any info about an update on Gate.io? So People really
Y-
curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about Gate.io being kind of a moving target. Um, the sad fact of the matter is when you get to a certain level of centralized exchanges, it's not as simple as just paying a fee and being a part of it. They've candidly jerked us around for a while now, and our volume is frankly on an average basis on a 14-30 day basis. It's just not there yet. So we were there for a moment, and then it dipped, and so it's kind of been snatched away from us at the moment. But it very much remains top of mind, and as we get into the next phase of what we're doing, I know that we're gonna be listed with them very soon.
Sounds good. I have one more question too. For
Yeah.
this one's for myself. So, uh, the poker tournament this Saturday, I got
Yes.
into it. I'm entered into it. Are you in it?
I'm terrible at poker. In fact, when I go to Vegas, the only game I play is free bet blackjack, because I know that the odds are really good, and I love nothing more than being able to double down on hands. So sadly, I will not be at that tournament because I would just be absolutely terrible and embarrass myself. But I fully support anybody who wants to be a part of it. Please do so. We think the way that the bet altcoins guys are, advancing what they're doing and continuing to innovate on that side is great, and we fully support it, and would we want to see their community grow as well. So if you're into poker and you're any good, please give it a shot.
Oh, I'm in it, and just everybody. I mean, we get hundreds of questions a day in the voice chats and in the Telegram and stuff like that. Now's your chance to hear it from the kitten's mouth. Raise your hand, ask your questions. Don't be shy.
I echo that absolutely, and we actually have somebody raising their hand right now. Um, S Jack, you are up if you want to unmute.
Hey, Beanie, you hear me good?
I sure do. How are you today?
Hey, good. I just want to ask one question. You talking about volume, and how many volume you talking about for the listing on Gate IO?
Yeah, they really like the daily average volume to be over 1 million for an extended period of time. And we do have market makers that
Mm-hmm.
work on all of our accounts on a daily basis, and that includes our three centralized exchanges: Bitmark, MEXC, and most recently LBank, as well as the
Mm-hmm.
DEX. Um, However, if you look at our average daily volume, especially in the last, let's call it 20 to 25 days, it's dipped as the market has dipped.
Yeah,
And
yeah, true.
furthermore, when you have market makers, there are fees associated with that, especially on the decks. So this is again some inside baseball, but I think it's important to provide this context. When you have market makers on centralized exchanges like MEXC and LBank and stuff, they typically give your accounts either no fees for a specific amount of time or very, very low fees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as it relates to the deck, to the decks, there is no such thing. So to create volume on the decks, you're paying these radium fees with every single transaction. So on a low scale, to create, let's call it 100 to 150,000 dollars in volume a day, you're talking about close to $10,000 a month that we're paying in radium fees just alone. Not to mention if you're buying and selling in short periods of time and potentially losing money on that. So it's a pretty expensive endeavor, and ultimately you want to you want to limit the amount of volume you're creating on the decks and do it more on the centralized exchanges, so you're not paying, crazy fees like that. But sometimes it's not feasible because people love trading on Radium and Jupiter, and of course, KittenBot and things like that. So just stuff to kind of keep in mind. And we'll get there. It's just kind of one of those things where, like, you take one step forward and then sadly take two steps back until till we get this next phase. Now, when Solana volume with with I should say when the Solana price really starts getting moving, let's call it north of 160. I think that's going
Hmm.
to be a hell of a lot easier. But those are just kind of the challenges that we face, and the decision making process that goes into that. I mean, we can make a $500,000 in volume on a daily basis on the decks, but it would be so obscenely expensive that it would take away from everything else that we would look to do as a project, because we would be paying these exorbitant fees to Radium that literally goes down the toilet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, perfect. And I have my answer. Yeah, but we as the community, we are here for the long run, so we have time enough. Just chill and relax and enjoy our kitten. That's what I say always.
Well, I
So
appreciate that, and just know my job is to give you detailed answers like that, or at least that's my perspective. So it provides better context, and you know, again, I always try to look at this from the investor's perspective of, like, if I was on the other end, what kind of explanation would I want? And sometimes they're a bit long-winded, but context is important. So hopefully
true.
that helps. And as always, I appreciate your question.
Perfect. Perfect, Beanie. And still, I want to say one more thing. A
Yeah.
fire MEA, MEA. You did perfect.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we will be posting an update as well on Telegram as well as Twitter today for everybody who has missed this.
Yes,
Um,
perfect.
all right. Well, I see a couple more folks that have their hands raised. JD, you are up. JD, you there?
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm in Croatia at the minute. The signal's terrible. Just a question in relation to the Gotbit partnership. I know you said they won't announce until it's more optics for them. What do you think the criteria is for us to meet for them to announce the partnership?
Market cap, 100%.
Yeah. What kind of market cap do you think? 5 mil, 10 mil?
It's hard to say. Them just being business people, I've really watched this closely. Um, there are teams that they work with for months and months, and then they'll just kind of, like, out of the blue announce the partnership. And I think part of it is like an optics thing, right? Like, if a project all of a sudden triples in market cap, that's usually when when a tweet comes out from them. So I know when that happens for us, they'll be right there. I mean, they are still very much our partners. We are on a Telegram channel where we communicate on a constant basis. We get an update on a weekly basis. We jump on a call probably every 2 to 3 weeks, and you know, we're also discussing, without getting too much into it, we're discussing some things relating to the Floor Defender bot and how that could potentially be very helpful for some of their other clients on Solana. Hint, hint. So we're there's always new opportunities that we're working on with our strategic partners that we believe is mutually beneficial, and that's kind of one of the processes we're going with them right now through them with right now.
Yeah, they're obviously a great partner. It seems like a bit of a catch-22. Like they want the big market cap, but like an announcement from them could send our market cap through the roof. But no, I see what you're saying. They're a business at the end of the day, and it's about optics. So yeah, thanks for your response.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your question. Um, Sir Hingis, you are up. I think you're muted at the moment, though. Sir Hingis, you there? You just got to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can. Good morning.
Hey, Beanie. Right, so I just got a quick question. You said that you're going to be releasing that first 500 NFTs, and we get a chance to go and mint one. So my question was, if we go through that process, what is like? Is it just going to be random in terms of what level of rarity that you get, and do we have any idea what kind of percentages might be with that? If that makes sense.
Great question. So yes, it will be random because um, I asked this question yesterday to the developers myself because they did not. So there's 5,000 NFTs, and each one of them have a specific number to them. So when they minted those 500 NFTs, it's not like they minted NFTs number 1 through 500. They used a program that automatically selected 500 out of the 5,000 and then minted them online. So yes, it will be completely randomly done. We don't know what that is, and we won't know that what that is until until of course they're all sold and minted, and then people can they'll immediately be shown on Magic Eden, and you can search for them and all of that, uh, and see what the different rarities are, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then with respect to how that's going to be determined, we'll be sharing those details very soon. But we want to come up with a fair and equitable way that everybody gets a crack at it. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, we're really excited that we're getting to the next phase of this thing because, you know, we've got the website done, we've got a preview of these things. Everybody we've shown the NFTs to and the artwork and stuff. They they're really excited about it, and so now the minting has become a reality.
Awesome, very exciting. Yeah, that's all really. And after this, I'll hop on and do the summary, and I'll do the questions again today as well.
I really
But yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, awesome. Thanks, Beanie, for everything. Really good stuff, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, of course, and thank you. For those of you who don't know it, Sir Angus is the one who creates these recaps and does a fantastic job. So, really appreciate that. And we're gonna take that info and then also put it on Twitter today for those folks that may not see it on Telegram. But yeah, very exciting. And again, these questions are all great. I really appreciate it because there's always going to be things, even though I spend a good bit of time preparing for these AMAs because I want to make sure that I cover everything. There's always going to be stuff that you guys are going to think of and have great questions about. So that is truly appreciated. But with
Awesome.
that, let's. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have any more questions? So with that, I think we're gonna break to keep this at a pretty good time period, so folks can listen and not take up half their day. But thank you again for your time, everyone. Lots of exciting updates. As I mentioned, I'm going to go post some things, uh, just you know updates as it relates to the visual stuff momentarily. And I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Next week should be pretty interesting if the Ethereum ETF does in fact start trading by this time next week. It's going to be a wild ride. So yeah, July 4th is a Thursday. They're saying it's going to happen by then. That is less than a week away. So really cool stuff. And I think it's gonna be very well timed. So everyone have a fantastic weekend, and we'll speak soon. Take care.